Yeah, ma'am. Was it? Ma'am. I'm good. Yeah, ma'am. Was it? Ma'am. I'm good. Yep.
Hola.
All
Sure.
right. So, come.
Yeah, I'm sick.
All right. Uh, let's try to see what you can cook here. Wish you can see what we have our beautiful function here. As in a parabola, right? And also a straight line. If we're not big, we have two beautiful equations. Let me just lock this. So, closing here. The first equation deals with the parabola part. So, gonna try to revise as much as we can since tomorrow sales meeting is that day. But Chula Makrafla, if you can look into them, there are parabolas. But now, what's the difference between the two? Le, you see the first one here, it's in a form of what we call ax squared plus bx squared, and then plus c. While this one is ax squared plus bx. See, shoot, you are missing what we call c, or c ageko. So if you remember how we described this equation, so I'll be trying to go back and forth because of the epipolam lila parts, right? So I'll just be going back and forth. Hopefully you can see the question as I go down and out. So before I answer the question, let's just have what you call recap of the topic itself. It's not balance chart. I think you have familiar with Paraguay when I was there. Very much fun. Yeah, it isn't much of things like you can grab up when you Paraguay. So do you have any question around Paraguay?
Yeah, cut. Cut.
Yeah, cut. Namanje ya cut. How's it now?
Pre.
Cut and cut yako. Yes. Thank you. Njani ma? Ngiyazwakala.
Yeah, ikre.
I-grand. Okay. That's the only grand score. Mainly big. Mainly big grand. Okay. So ngisazama ukusi-arrange sharp. Kuzokuba kuhle. Buka Mr. Yame. So we know very well that you must come a graph to a parabola. Parabola graph, right? So I'm a parabola two in this case. Then this is a try to break down. So if I can give you a parabola function, I think you already know much about the parabola. Acting with this suspend is seat, but we do understand now it's okay. We have a certain equation that could be written like f of x. It's equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. We know this, right? So this is the equation that we already know, whereby this value here, which is the c, is described as the y cut. So see experience in this equation, right? This is what we experience here. So what are we having in this graph? We're having an equation that is written as f of x. So understand our equations that we have. So the first equation is written f of x. It's equal to ax squared, I think, plus bx, right? And then the only value that you are given in this case, it is the c value, which is 15 over 2. So that's a plus 15 over a beautiful 2 there. So it's 15 over 2. The equation is now short. Now here, we do not know a, we do not know b, right? But in the other equation, which is very lovely, the other equation is also a parabola, right? It's not g of x, not f of x. So on the other one, we know a lot, right? Why is it Sazogni? Is because if you can check here, La Sazi, we know our, what's this? The other equation. The other equation is very much known because it's g of x equal to x squared plus 2. So in the other equation we have, it known as what? G of x, which is x squared plus 2. So these are the two equations that we're given here. We're trying to break them down so that we can indeed understand them much more better. So how can we break this two guys so that we can cruise very much nicely? What can we say here? Now, in this way, here to just have a proper idea and a proper concept around this. Let's try to say, since it's not x squared here, plus 2. So I'm going to spend this card now trying to unpack this one, right? Work with me on this function. Let me just move this to the other side so that you can see nicely. So as you look here, you know as you're going to macroflow it that can be broken down into two pieces. So see as it's okay, whenever you're looking for an equation or parabola, we have the first condition that could be when you're given x-intercepts and a point, right? But now my f function, remember my f function is this one. Can I just give it a highlighter for you? My f function is this one. This is the f of x function. There. F of x, the one that is being highlighted. It's our f of x. So since we can see with f of x, it is the one that has been highlighted. So, manje kulo f of x, in a point la pants la. Here, you see where my b is positioned, and then where my a is positioned. So, a and your b, right? A no b wako, these are considered to be x-intercepts. These are our x-intercepts. X-intercepts. That's what we experience, my x-intercept rate. So since these two are x-intercepts, and then now we can clearly see when I'm staying, but you know, we are not given, basically here, we are not given any other point except the turning point there. So a second option is when by you given the turning point, but the turning point it shares the same x value here. Yeah, shoot mass natural x wala is the same value as p. Do you understand me? Are you experiencing the question?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sho ukuthi u-E is g of x yabo. So now u-g of x wethu sazi information eningi ngayo. I think ukuthi lapho si-grand swethu you know more information about ini u-g of x because u-g of x akanayo unknown ku-equation, so yonke into yaka-g of x ihleli ngesimo esi-right. So since ihleli ngesimo esi-right, it's very much easy for us to use yona to find ini the value of p. So sizomthola kanjani p? Can you tell me an idea that you might think of? Ukuthi wena mawubhekile usibheke ukuthi simthola kanjani p? Ngiyamukela, ngimamele.
Uthe P yini? So
Yes, p. Remember, any equation une-information eningi, enye awunayo information eningi. Enye une-information eningi, enye awunayo information eningi. Mina ngizimamelele nje ngirelaxile. Mamele wena.
Ngisacabanga.
Relax, sinesikhathi sonke isikhathi. We have all the time in the world today. Namuhla mfethu siphethe isikhathi. Siphethe isikhathi. Bheka le equation enye. Focus kule equation esithiyo isikhathi, ungasithiyo.
Okay, I feel.
Bhekwa. So siyithola kanjani mabheki?
Sizothi 8
Sisothini? Okay, bheka. Sizoyenza sothi. Now, since already sazi ukuthi le equation enye, you see here, this value has been shared. Yabo, coordinate ka-E. So sizofocus kuma-coordinate ka-E. Why I focus on coordinate ka-E is because I know more information about the other function than the other. Right? Mongathi uyabheka, u-g of x uphethe yonke into, akashoti ngalutho. U-g of x ubhele uyazicruisela nicely. Right? Since u-g of x wethu acruiser nicely here, we are going to say, okay, now lezi sithe asinaso. The x-intercepts, remember, sithe ama-option esinawo to get the equation of the graph. It could be x-intercepts, x-intercept yakho. If I see x-intercept, it's just going to be the x-intercept, and also in this thing, the turning point. Uloku sine turning point. Bheka. Oh, sho ukuthi u-y wethu masina. Ukuze sithole p, sizosolva for u-x la. Yabo. Sho ukuthi if singathola these points, remember, yabona uma unga-check here, the first question, it says write down the coordinates of f. Where is our f? F wakula. Yabo. Ake siqale kancane sishaye katsongo. Siqale ngama-coordinates waka-f. Ama-coordinates waka-f, what is f in this function? Yaka-f. Uyini la? Ikhatha kuphi lo f? Yabo f wethu.
Yeah.
Yabo f. Sho ukuthi uyini u-f lapha? What is f called in this function?
y-axis
Yes, y-intercept, right? So f wako is known as y-intercept. So since fi y-intercept, sizomsolva ngesi y-intercept. Sizoshaya y-intercept. So and y-intercept yethu ngishilo ngathi y-cut yakho. Y-cut yakho now 15 or what. But now for the first question, which is simply what do we have is 4.1. So 4.1 means you or 4.1, we know we see the coordinates of f is simply 0 is to 15 over 2. Yang
4.
15 over 2. So 15 over 2, y-intercepted. So since this is our y-intercept, we know very well what I. Those are two zimengolai, right? Zimengolai. Now, sibuye okay, sharp. La simnandi. Since simnandi la, uyibambile le y-intercept nje. Kuthi ngithole kanjani? Ne? Babuye bathi bafuna ama-coordinate wakasiskoko. The coordinates of C. Yeah? The coordinates of C. U-C now, uyi-y-intercept. C. Uyi-x-intercept, sorry. X-intercept. Yambo C usinabelekele kuphi? Yambo lo C wabantu. The C of other people is just sitting nicely there. So that's going to be our y, our x-intercept. So how do you move this x-intercept here? So we have to move this x-intercept by saying now we have the equation there. Now equation you take a g of x. So since we are looking for the y-intercept, the x-intercept, whenever sifuna x-intercept now we allow double, we just have to let the y to be 0. So going to be x-intercept. Then you let y to be 0. We should see. Last sobona khona y is coco. So for one was 0. Therefore, singavele sithi oh which of x wethu nayo which to x squared plus 2 x squared plus 2 sorry the 2 amagasaseka 2 equal to 0. X squared plus 2 it's equal to 0, right? Then now when we're here Mchana, we try to make things much more easier. How do you do that? We need to solve for x, right? And in analysis, it's okay. Since now, can you be able to solve this? This is algebra because on a caution, which of x on me, I just made a human error there. Go short to Bani, go short to Tula. So we needed to put x here just to make the equation to be very nicely and beautiful. So written ala short down x. Then now we're easily going to get ourselves a common factor, which is x plus 2 la, then it's equal to 0. Yeah, when I'm on a public exam, you indeed gonna face such a question 1, right? So tell question 1 is so. And then must tell question 1 is so. We always do this. They say use what we call the non-zero, that apply the 0 log from grade 9. Then you say x is equal to 0 or x plus 2, it's equal to 0. Therefore, we can say x is equal to what? Negative 2. Then in our x-intercept, yes, remember a parabola. Parabola has how many x-intercept? Parabola contains 2 x-intercepts. Njalo vele. Angeke kwenzeka unless aseke South Africa, wherever in the world. We know this. This is the storyline that we definitely show what we're going to experience when we're dealing with a parabola function. So experience of 2 x-intercepts there. Now, yiko pho kwenye siphuma nako ke message. So now, after here, we say, okay, let's go to the function. So we'll back to our drawing there. So in this drawing, you can clearly see what we see angisho yabona ukuthi ayi-2 ikhatha endaweni eziyi-2 iphinde ikhathe la le graph. Sho ukuthi mina mangithola ama-x-intercept ayi-2 enye yabona lapho ikhatha ku-origin kusho ukuthi 0 is to 0. La kule point leli is at the origin yami. La siyabona ukuthi hayi shem i-origin. This is the origin. Origin, right? The origin. So since lapha kwi-origin, now we understand ukuthi okay, should ama-coordinate awaka-C because they need this answer's coordinate. You see, it's going to be what? -2 is to 0 as a coordinate. Coordinate lakho laka-C. -2 is to 0 is the C coordinate. Are you happy about this?
Sure.
Okay, now going much better. So is there anyone here? Hey, Matume, you are here.
Yeah, Pravi.
Okay, yeah, ubulala pasa poco. Yes. Poco sharp. And then now, we know one thing. Just gonna try to charge my phone. Wireless trust. This okay. Spoiler corner. Okay. Now we got the coordinates of C. So now here we know our answers here. F2 is going to be it's 0. 0 is to 15 over 2. Then la siyazi bali it's 0 is -2 is to 0. Then now it does make sense. That's what. But the turning points of the F graph and G, very important, lie on the same straight line, on the same vertical line. Yabona, if something what lie on the same vertical line, they share the same what? X value. They share the same X value. That's what they're trying to tell you. They share the same X value. So as they share the same X value, yenza ukuthi kube lula for us to even do this, even get the coordinates there. Yes, but the first thing, calculate the value of P. Ngiyamkhumbula le value ka-P sixoxile ngayo sathi simthola kanjani yama. So sisebenzisa equation yaka-G. Manje sisebenzisa kanjani le equation yaka-G sikhokho? Okay, ku-G yabona mina-ke ngithanda izinto ezimnandi. Since wazi ama-x-intercept wakho, you know ukuthi this is a turning point, right? So since we know ukuthi is a turning point and uphethe ama-x value, uvele uthi if you have the x values, kune-formula ekumele ngifuna ukuthi nihlale nisebenzisane nabangani bakho. Izothi lapha ku-exam 5.3, 4.3, uzothi x of the turning point of x2p it's equal to x1 plus x2 all divided by 2. Remember, let's keep doing it whenever you know your x is because x1 and x2 and x2 should be what are the x-intercepts. I'm an x-intercepts. Wow. So my x-intercept to I say I want to phezulu. It's no 0. It's 7 plus then minus 2 all divided by 2. We have one on our typhoon sitting 1, -1. Since P is the x-coordinate of the turning point, so formula to P is equal to what? -1. Any questions? Any questions for future? Guys,
No
don't sleep
question.
first. Never. Can you repeat what I've said?
Yes.
Can you repeat what
Yes.
I've said? That we can be sure when we were cruising in the same boat.
Yes, we understand everything.
Mr. Foxindo.
Yes,
Welcome,
yes.
welcome. Sorry. Missing Hane. So, folks, angisho mngana uyazi ukuthi if we have a function like this, right, kule function yethu bafethu, if une line there, right, I want to draw two lines. I guess it's la. At this point, you have x2, and this side we have x1. Then going here, in the middle here, definitely here we're gonna have what? Turning point, right? We're gonna have our
Yes.
TP then. So since ETP yet, once I'm given the x-intercepts and ngifuna the x coordinate of the turning point, only the x coordinate, the turning point. So I want you guys to even do this cruising part with us, right? Want us to be able to do this, whatever we're going to do here. So uzoti now, see this formula that you have here. Can I just draw this formula that you drew here? You're going to give us this form. So the diagram there gives you this idea what we're having here. So it's because as the two, so this x of TP is gotten through that formula. Because the midpoint, so a function here to why someone might, okay, let's try to check with it. Remember, the formula there. You know, with it, I think it says x equal to negative b over 2a. This is the famous formula for most people. So yes, OPA to 1 is going to be minus 2 there, or 2. Then a way to 1. What is our a by today? It's 1, yes. So now last of 1. But by 40, we're still getting the same answer, negative 1. But if you know your story, you'll go for the first one. But if that one, the first one is a jungle, you'll definitely go for the second one. Any other question?
No questions, man.
Yeah. Now, lovely stuff. So, manje sesiyabuyela futhi la kule question bathi sifune i-length yaka-DE. DE, right? Asihambise kona ukuthi u-D no-E by E. Yes, u-D no-E, that's a vertical distance. A vertical distance, length of DE. So in this case, I wonder what I love about the DE. U-DE wakho siyazi ukuthi it's a vertical line, right? It is a very beautiful vertical line between the two, and it's the two functions. So nyalazi, now the issue here, I don't know my y coordinate of the turning point, but I know my y value this side. So if you can look here, normally go vertical distance to top graph minus bottom graph, but sometimes you don't have to do that. At this point, we know what is 8 units. Now the question is, what is the point here? If we can get the y coordinate of coordinate E, we can be able to get this vertical distance. But without that value, we are obviously going to be saying we are experiencing a big jungle. So let's try to make things more interesting. How so? So Zoti now, coordinates of E, we already have the x coordinate. So to get the y coordinate, also tata this x coordinate onalo already was all substitute into the original equation. So when you do that, it's going to make your life very much easier. Also, it's a city, so it's now g of -1. So which is -1 x squared plus 2 times -1. That's the answer. Answer of it. Me, I do not have the calculator, by the way. So you have to plus for me.
-1. -1.
Okay, guys, I'm back. But send we. So we still hearing me? Yes. So I was experiencing a very short jungle of network, but everything now is sorted. So what was the answer there? What was the
Negative
answer?
one.
-1 again. Yes,
Negative
-1.
one.
Okay, -1. Shooting now. For us to get the vertical distance of DE, DE is going to be equal to y top minus y bottom, which is y top, which was 8, minus y, which is the distance for DE, simply known as 9 units. I don't know, guys, if you can tell here by looking at this beautiful DE here. You can tell our distance within each other. Are we sorted with the distance?
Yes.
I'm in here.
You are sorted, right? Okay. Now, is now a question, guys, is this one. Show that A is equal to -1/2 and B is equal to -1. Proper stuff. Already, manje, since bafethu seen it, given that since we know the coordinates of D, it makes it easier for us to find these values. Very much easier. Very, very easy. So now, Suzotin, what's your idea, guys, to get this 4 marks? Yes, 4 marks is a snack. So now equation here too, for those that didn't see this equation. So we do not know this guy, we do not know that guy, but we know the coordinates of D in fully, right? D way too. If you can ask me the coordinates of D, we calculated not so long ago. So I'm going to already. It's simply -1:8, which is a turning point, right? Which could is in a turning point here. It's in a turning point. So we are given the turning point, and also we know our y intercept. So we're given the turning point and y intercept on the f function. So we can try to use that information to find the a, b, and c. So I guess now we know which, if we want to find the equation, right? When you're given the turning point, we're given the turning point. I can say we're given the turning point and a point. The point is f. So we know what, oh man, these people are trying to be clever, because this is just f of x equal to a open bracket x minus p close bracket squared plus q. Remember, this equation includes what's in the form of TP. I see what it's because x, then remember OP way 2 is -1, should here you put +1 squared, then +8. Then at a point which is f, remember the coordinates of f, we're told, which is 0, is 215/2. Who remembers the purpose, guys, why we're using a point? You should always remember what the purpose of a point is, to find the value of a. So it's now 15/2, which will give you a. Then lemma x lemma 2 in 0 plus 1 squared plus 8. Then is 15/2. It's equal to a plus 8. 15/2 minus 8, people, what is your answer there? So that we can have the value of a. (15/2 minus 8).
-1/2.
Negative?
1/2.
Negative 1/2. Yes, negative 1/2. True, false? Negative 1/2. Negative 1/2. So now we found the value of a now. So we can try now to rewrite this by saying, okay, now we should now f of x to 2, it's equal to negative 1/2, open bracket x plus 1 squared plus 8. Then we try to factorize this. Start with a bracket, by the way. This one gives you x squared plus 2x plus 1, then plus 8. Then you distribute 1/2, gives you 1/2 x squared plus x, sorry, negative guys, negative here. Shoot it here is going to give me negative x minus, then minus 1/2 plus 8, right? Then I think it's negative 1/2 x squared minus x, then minus 15 is plus 15/2. So now you can tell go to a way to in the position of a here, where we had a here, Sinabani, 1/2. Here we have 1. Let's check what they said. But you show go to what? Yes, you show go to a is negative 1/2 and b is equal to negative 1. Does it make sense? That I can tell you with Bafetu, it was a beautiful question. One of this one I thought if you favor, I can tell you what it was a very beautiful question of dealing with the equations. So now guys, whenever Basipa does things, right? When they say show this, such things, you check. Remember in this case, what we are given? We're given an x-intercept and a power. We're given the turning point and a point. That's why we got to such a beautiful solution here. Most people will get surprised when they jungle around us. And we know very well these are typical questions that we expect to forever see in our examination room, right? So if you get yourself familiar with such, it makes you to cruise nicely then inside the exam room without having to experience what you call a jungle. So bafethu to say grant. Say bamba linda. Appear turning point. Ugijima ngalushu. Yabona ukuthi ekugcineni into e-challenge abantu abaningi ile nto engiyenzela ekugcineni bafethu. Yabona le nto engiyenzela ekugcineni. To move it from here, you see here, yabo ukuthi mase siyayi-convert la, masiyibona lapho ngizo-add 8. So it starts from here, starts from such, you see something like that. If bebafuna ukuthi bebafuna P and Q, but unfortunately they were looking for it in terms of a quadratic. That's why I had to go further. Are we happy? You guys are still with me. Last but not least, right? Let's come to the last one. But it determines the equation of the straight line joining 2 points of intersection of G and of F and G. So equation is straight line H join 2 points of these two. H join is 2 points. H join in a point of intersection. So these two graphs, they only intersect at these points, So you can imagine that line which is from Bajan. I think this line they're talking about is a line that we'll have to cut here. Cut these two. I don't know how. Does it cut it? Right, but we get the idea. So we cut it. We join these 2 points. So we're looking for this equation of this straight line. Straight line is for easily. So now how can one find the equation of the line that is joining these 2 points? We need to get the point of intersection. La is Okatakon. So remember, on point of intersection, the two functions are equal. Right? The two functions are equal. Now, since the two functions are equal, then it makes our life very easy. ama-function which are equal. La sikhuluma ngakho length esikhuluma ngayo, we get it where the functions are what? Are simply equal. So since they're equal at that point, these two functions, we don't expect it to struggle or stress ourselves around that. So since we not want to stress ourselves or have a jungle around that, we're just gonna say, now let's find the point of intersection. We know both equations fully. Now it's easy to work with this. So the point of a now is where f of x, it is equal to g of x. So f of x1 is just -1 over 2x squared minus x plus 15 over 2. 15 over 2, which is equal to x squared plus 2. Then grouping the like terms. And in general, what is -1 over 2x squared minus x squared minus x minus 2x here plus 15 over 2 equal to 0. -1 over 2 minus 1 is what? What's the answer?
Reverse negative one over
Questions?
negative 1 over 2 minus 1.
Minus 1 is
Negative 3 over 2.
-3 over 2. So -3 over 2. -3 over 2 x squared. Then this is -3 x, which is plus 15 over 2. Then since I'm reading as I try to multiply everything by 2 so that this is 3x squared minus 3x. So it is -6x now. -6x plus 15 equal to 0. And I believe 3 can go in yonkinda. And as we see, you cannot divide anything with -a. It's plus 3x here and then plus 5 equal to 0. So this point is x and x self-factorize here. Then I believe we'll see here it's plus plus 3. 3 and then I go 15. Then I have 5. Why wouldn't you get factors here? Yeah, why isn't that sort of my factor again? When I listen to see what I'm getting there. 3 over 2 la. Yeah, should say medicine is quadratic la bafethu.
Yeah, I guide effect.
No, but still negative more. Sorry. Yeah. Not if it's divide them. If it's divided, like negative. Negative. So now the signs will change. So I write it, but here is -5. And now it's proper because of -5. -5. Okay, still, but still gives me. Okay, the middle one is not 3, but 2. Yes, beautiful now. So here's plus 2x And there's -5. Okay. Wonderful. Where's the guide effects of it? Where's the fellow? The guide effects of it. We need factors. On a mistake somewhere, somehow here. Where this positioned? What are check it out, some
I did a guide effect.
add guide effects.
Yeah.
No, we have to get this fact unless there's a mistake somewhere, somehow here. We have to get these factors because without them, we can't do anything here. Check. And my equation is very proper. Almost. 15/2. Oh, check. Vedamatum is it? -1/2 minus 1 is it? -3/2.
Yeah, I get -3/2.
Okay. That means this part didn't have solution. Get R. Because if we can't get this part, it's an R. On a mistake, ma. Sure, sure.
Sure.
Okay, awesome stuff here. Okay. Right per feature. Yeah, I will say our solution or the error, right? Because there is no way you can solve this question without finding that point. All right. So, but did you get how we work with this question? Then I want to solve anja.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, guys,
Sure.
just keep us. But to go through your book now, and then Yamgela, just keep yourself busy with the question about pay one.
Alright, sure.
Shafiri bafethu, all the best kusasa. Sizobonana kusasa.
Kusasa.
Yebo.
Sikothini, bro.
Ngiceda isikhathi bani ukubhala?
Mina.
12 lonke ne?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to do paper 2 with you guys. But things will confirm on our folks.